Lead with the butt and not the head. Catchy title, but in today's video, we're going to be tackling one of the most common issues with players who are 4-0 and below. And I'm going to show you the one common thread that all advanced tennis players implement and how you don't need to have their DNA to do it in your own game. So let's begin. What happens is when players attack the ball, they only focus on the racket head. And what ends up happening is there is no lag in the stroke. So on the forehand, when the shot comes through at the initiation of the forward swing, players will come around with just the arm and they will keep their hand stiff and locked. If you want to be able to get way more racket head speed and lag, you need to lead with the butt cap and actually attack the ball with your hand first. Now, the hand has to be very loose and you don't want it to be tight and locked. So you don't want to swing the entire arm as a unit. So you don't really want to focus as much on what's happening with the racket head. It's going to be a natural consequence of pulling forward. And you will see what we call this term as the slot position, where the butt cap is leading towards the ball on every single stroke. So on the forehand, you need to make sure that you relax your wrist at the top of the backswing and you have no tension in the arm when you pull forwards so that you can attack with the hand first and have the racket come along for the ride. Now, let's take a look on the backhand side. On both the two-handed backhand and the one-handed backhand, the exact same concept applies. We will see on the two-handed backhand, when the racket drops below the level of the hands, the butt cap is always leading towards the ball. But players at the club level will attack it with a straight and stiff arm, and instead of delaying the racket head, they will have it attack the ball at the same time as the hands. But we need to lose tension in the hands and the wrist and have the racket come through after as a result of firing the hands first. On the one-handed backhand, it's the same thing, where we lead with the butt cap, and it's not until we're ready to fire and come through that we come over from our shoulder and the racket comes through as a natural consequence. Now, of course, there is no wrist flicking on the one-handed backhand, and that's a topic for another video. So the hand and arm do stay together as a unit, but the racket still comes through last. Now, let's take a look at the volleys. On the pro volleys, this concept is a little bit less pronounced, but players definitely still implement it, especially on the high volley. We will see every time on the forehand volley that the racket face will lay open significantly and the butt cap will be pointing directly to the ball. So it's okay to have as big of a take back as you want on the volley, and in fact, it will actually help you get more power. What's important is that you keep the elbows close by and stable throughout the swing. So it doesn't matter how big your take back or follow through is, but you have to keep this locked in, and same with this. On the backhand volley, it's the same thing. And like I said, on the high volleys, you really want to point that butt cap and lay the racket face open even more. On the low volleys, a little bit less pronounced because we have to open up the racket face a lot more, but still, players will always lead with the butt cap. And it's not until the last second that the racket head comes through. Now, let's look at the serve. Now, this isn't a full tutorial on the serve, but I'm just going to quickly explain the kinetic chain. So, when we've loaded our legs and we're in the trophy power position, we throw the body first, and the racket falls down and back as a natural consequence. The racket drop is not a pulling back of the arm, it's a relaxation. Now, when the racket falls back into this power position or slot, we are leading with the butt cap just like every other shot. And it's not until the last second that we pronate from the shoulder and the racket head comes around. But players with what we call in Canada a palm up serve, they will have the racket head come through at the same time as the hand, and there is no delay and no lag, therefore no racket speed. So if you want to start hitting like an advanced level tennis player, you need to start leading with the butt cap on your strokes. In any event, thanks for tuning in, and use what you've learned to modernize your game. If you want more tips to fix your swing from the comfort of your home, check out my online course with the link down in the description.